Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 174 for June 10th, 2026. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
One thing I want to mention, actually, which is kind of funny, I don't think it's been officially announced yet as this recording, but apparently it's been leaked that, what people refer to as Green Yuri, aka, what was it, the guy I was interested in wasn't a guy at all, is getting an anime adaptation. That's apparently a big deal because it's a very popular manga right now.
Interesting. I haven't heard of it.
Okay, I'm also going to say something a little bit, let's just say a bit of a hot take, which is I don't think it's that good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really popular. It's like, it's okay, it's fine, but people act like it's the second coming of Yuri Jesus.
Second coming of Yuri. Now I'm just picturing what Yuri Jesus would be.
Digital. Agnes Digital.
Yeah, I mean, that could fit. I don't know, but something being super popular that isn't actually that good, according to you, us, whatever, is not uncommon. I mean,
it's just the thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that people act like it's amazing. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. It's not, and I'm just saying it wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
Beyond that, I'm just kind of trying to keep up with some anime stuff, usual. Watanare, of course. Keeping up with that.
I haven't been able to keep up with that one, but I've been seeing a lot of people really like it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to avoid spoilers.
Remember the one we watched with there was the Otome game Isekai where it was focused on the prince guy and we thought he was boring?
Yes.
Holy crap.
It got better?
Oh my god, they made him not boring.
Okay, so that's actually what I've heard, because I was talking with one of my coworkers about it, too, and he was saying, that he actually watched it all, and, apparently shortly after the third episode, things do start to make him less...
well, it's not just the third episode, but
yeah.
episode 8 specifically is like, holy crap.
Okay.
It popped off.
It just... You need to do that sooner. Come on.
It was worth the payoff, actually, and I actually need to watch the next episode, and that came out, I think, yesterday, but I need to watch it.
All right. So it'll definitely be one that I should probably keep up with. I
might actually put in the podcast rotation, the podcast schedule at some point, because it's like, oh, dang. Surprised me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good then.
Regardless, we're here to talk about that stuff. We're here to talk about an anime from actually a year ago.
It took me a while to realize, wait, it's been that long? Holy crap. It feels like yesterday that we did the first 3 of this one.
But yeah, it's Watashi ga Koibito ni naru wake naijan muri jan nakata, or
Moody.
There's no freaking way I'll be your lover unless, or as most people call it, Watanare.
Yep, it's just Watanare.
Because it's just easier to say than all that. But light novel.
Yeah, Japanese light novels.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit ago for the summer anime episode for last year, and it's obviously Yuri because it's June, which means Pride and everything. So you got to do the gay, partake in the gay. Yeah, so this one we talked about it before, but yeah, the main character is Renako Amori. She's trying to reinvent herself for high school because she's kind of introvert and socially awkward and has anxiety and all that stuff. And she winds up getting to the super popular friend group, including, someone who's a literal model. Who then, said model, Mai Ozaka, confesses to her, and that sends Renako into a bit of a spiral, which kicks off everything. Because, what? So the whole thing, it starts off with, Renako insisting they stay friends. Mai's like, no, I want to be girlfriends. And so they decided this whole weird kind of switching between the two thing, which, as you might guess, doesn't go well.
No.
And eventually the other friends in the group kind of get involved in many different ways, including Satsuki, Koto, Ajisai Sena, and Kaho Koyanagi in their own different ways. Also, another thing that's unique about this particular anime is it's 17 episodes long.
Yes.
Odd.
Yes, I like how Annie List split it out into 2 separate things.
Yeah,
because that's 12 episodes of one, and then a 5-episode sequel.
Well, that's what happened because the first aired in the summer, and then the sequel didn't come out to 2026.
Yep.
But it's just kind of weird how they did that, especially with how quote unquote season 1 ends.
Yeah, you watch them and it's like this was not supposed to be like the end of a season. It's supposed to just keep going.
So, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, I love this, of course. I absolutely love this thing. It's really a lot of fun, for the most part.
Yeah, so I remember when we talked about it the last time.
Ended on a very specific sour note, shall we say.
Yes, I was worried about it because I
had to reassure you.
Yes, because the way it ended, I was rather worried. I am happy to say that was like the lowest, quote unquote, lowest point of it, and it very quickly got away from the problem area right after that episode.
Dealt with it.
Yeah, they did. They dealt with the problem actually, which was good to see. And from there, it was really, really good. I do have some nitpicky, I want to say a little bit more than nitpicky with it, but overall, yes, I did very much enjoy this series.
Mm-hmm. And I need to get back into reading the light novel or whatever, because I think I stopped reading right about shortly before the season ends. So yeah, that's where I was kind of in new territory for me at the end. The very end of last few episodes, I was in new territory. But regardless, yeah. So big thing here is Reniko, like I said, she's an introvert and she's socially awkward and filled with anxiety and as we discover, actually self-loathing.
Yes,
that's a pretty nasty one. It's pretty nasty as we get through it.
Yeah, that's something even I've noted here. It's not like they hide the fact that she's self-loathing, but it isn't until one of the later episodes that you actually get official confirmation. She actually says it.
Yeah, she says how much she hates herself.
That she hates herself. And that's kind of a part, I won't see a critical point, but it was within a whole range of critical areas in her development. Yeah.
And that's a big thing. Yeah, it's just her self-loathing and everything kind of fuels everything. Because initially when Mai confesses to her, she says this weird halfway thing. Yep. And part of it, we see why is she, it's so weird because she's so in denial about a lot of things. Like she insists she's not attracted to girls, even though she keeps talking about how amazing, how pretty they all are. Yeah, it's like, this is a really weird, like super twisted version of internalized homophobia. Like it's a super weird one. It's like almost like she genuinely believes she's like declaring no homo actually means no homo.
Yeah, it is absolutely a thing where you can probably sit for hours and psychoanalyze this.
Yes,
man, it's one of those. It kind of relates into another bit that I have here to talk about. It's not just that one thing, but there's so many things about how the characters are written, how their personalities are that are so realistic. Like Reniko's introversion is painfully accurate.
Yeah.
Almost all of the time when watching this is just like...
There's a good chunk of time you want to scream at her for being an idiot.
Right. And that's actually a thing. There are so many points where it's just like, I see where you're like, yes, yeah, this is exactly I've had exactly these kind of things before, this thought process and stuff like that, this introversion. But there's someone's like, no. But then you have to realize, like, I'm sitting here at like twice her age.
Yep.
She's a high schooler. Back then, I wouldn't have got it either. Yeah. But yeah.
But I feel like this goes beyond just not getting it to all out denial.
There is absolute denial, and I think that directly relates back to what you already mentioned and what we already talked about. She hates herself.
Yeah, but also some of it. But also it's just kind of interesting just how it's not just she hates herself, but also it's just the whole idea that she just resists the idea that she is romantically and physically attracted to girls, and it doesn't just, it's so bizarre because you see it's clear like indication
it's clear with her other thoughts.
Her internal monologue indicates she's gay.
Where she's always talking about, especially with Ajisai, talking about a lot of things about Ajisai. I think that's not the only thing that she's resisting.
Yeah. There's also the thing, like, yeah, she's like, part of the reason she's so resistant to romance in general is because she's like convinced that if they date her, they'll find out all these awful things about her, and
that's part of it. That's part of it. But one of the other ones that I was getting was her constant, I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for a friend. And it ties into this. She believes that her introversion itself is bad. It's part of why she hates herself.
Yeah.
And the whole reason that she's intending to reinvent.
Yeah. And be normal.
And be a normal extrovert. So her entire focus, like her forefront focus is be extrovert, be normal, make friends.
Yep.
Everything. It's like horse blinders.
Plan.
Horse blinders to everything else. So when something else comes along that's very close to what she's looking for, but splits off on a side direction, romance, she's not looking for romance. She's looking for friend.
Although, yeah, as we
to
see,
be normal. So she's trying to
her
shove everything into this pre-designed path that she's trying to go for, that she had set up well beforehand. It's like, no, it has to be this thing that I'm trying to go for.
Although we see what her
blind to other things.
But her definition of friend is also askew as well.
I would actually. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, because I think in her particular case you are correct, but I do think this isn't a universal, because there is a point to be made that the difference between romantic and platonic love is different per person.
Yeah. But I'm just seeing that the way she talks about what friends are, it's like, that sounds kind of romantic to me.
For some people, yes. And I think in the end she realizes that it is for her as well, but I don't think that's always the case. I would actually be interested to see a story that would actually show that it's not, because it isn't for some people. But yeah, in this case, what she doesn't know exactly what she's describing, and she does end up finding it.
Yeah,
afterwards.
And like then you have of course the girl who initially shows interest in her is Mai. Mai is like the literal model, which it kind of feeds into a weird thing. It's like how this confusion of how could this basically amazing person like me?
What? It's just like, I like you. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
And yeah, Mai is pretty insistent. Is the thing, as we talked about in the first, like back when, Mai is very insistent about this. So yeah, a bit of a warning on this one again. One is last time a depiction of an attempted sexual assault happens. So Mai is again very insistent and very pushy. Kind of forces Renako to do a kiss as well for one thing. Really trying to push this thing, like, they had this whole idea, Mai puts her hair down, that means girlfriend day. If she puts her hair up, it's friend day. And, Mai's putting her hair down a lot, and Renako's like, what the heck? You're not really doing any friend days. And Mai's logic is, well, we've been friends already for so long, I'm just evening it out.
Yeah, that was something I was a little like, that's a bad idea, putting the onus on what happens onto one single person who's obviously biased on what they want.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is, well, again, as we talked about before, Renako putting them into this weird, emotionally confusing situation. It was a terrible idea from the get-go.
Oh, yes.
And Mai was kind of stupid to go along with it, too. But then again, it seems like Mai is just kind of like, she's like kind of going for, I'll take what I can get until I can convince her. Because that's Mai's whole thing. I'm going to convince her that this is that's the whole thing. Mai's thing. I want to convince her that we should be girlfriends, and Renako's like, we should be friends. And then you look at again Renako's French definition of girlfriend, and it's like, this seems align a lot closer to what Mai wants. Although Mai wants something more physical, much quicker than Renako does.
Yeah, problematically quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah. So what happens eventually is there's the bit where Mai comes to Renako's house and then, gets physical, and Renako's like saying no, stop, don't, and then Renako's sister Haruna shows up, and that gives Renako I guess.
Yeah, there's a term
moment.
For it. Yeah, I think there's a particular term.
Let's sort of recollect herself, and then she slaps Mai, tells her to get out of the house, and and Mai leaves. Mai kind of recognizes she screwed up and leaves.
Yep.
And then the way that we talk about is this is the whole people are messy thing comes in, which is Renako, in her little monologue says if it went much longer, she would have just given in.
Yep.
And she would have just said yes. Not like given in as in, I'll just give up, as in, no, I'm just going to actively be part of this now. And like, yeah, again, people are messy, and yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, that I think in any situation like this, the most important thing, and yeah, we're getting into a very dicey territory.
It is, yeah.
The most important thing is how the victim feels about it, I feel.
Right.
That's like the most important. How the victim wants to deal with things
really dicey.
Is really the big important part.
Because you also have to deal with, how do they feel notably after the fact, not during the event? During and after and everything. Because incapacitated state of mind via numerous methods is a thing. Yeah, so afterwards, that's the thing. And after all that was where we left off last time, was when Mai realizes how badly she screwed up, and she's willing, she'll just cut herself out of Renako's life because she doesn't deserve Renako. She actually goes that far. I'll just cut myself out of her life because I hurt her. Because it's like, okay, good. Mai recognizes she did a really bad thing. Yep. And she even has the whole thing where she's like setting up herself a penance of sort, with basically like she'll just kind of put herself with whatever suitor. Yeah, that whole thing. Which is one of those things which is actually worse, being single or being stuck with someone you don't love for the rest of your life. Depends on what culture. And it seems like for Mai, for her, the worst thing is being stuck with someone she doesn't love, and she'll have to learn to love, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. Although Kaho's there, that's the funny part. We'll get to Kaho. Oh, yeah. That's a whole topic there. So, then that's the thing. Renako goes and pretty much forgives Mai and even kisses her in a really, that's probably one of the most famous parts of the whole thing, which is the underwater kiss. Mm-hmm. And she's initiating. Yep. Which is a big important thing. And then, they're still kind of now in the weird, sometimes friends, sometimes not thing, but then also... things change a little bit. But yes, that's the thing is about Mai. We got talking about a little bit before, but the thing about Mai is, again, because of her upbringing, she's not really been told no before. Yep. And that's part of the reason why things happen. The idea, and there's a whole cultural thing, and it's not just Japan, but it's also just in general with the whole idea that women are supposed to put up a kind of a tacit, resistance initially to protect their purity and then give in, which can create a really confusing thing. With that whole misogynistic BS right there kind of creates a confusion, which makes it more difficult to understand whether or not consent has actually happened or not. Yeah. And particularly in a situation like this where you're both girls and it's like, so you both know the rules. They're both bottoms. What I'm saying is they both know the rules of you're supposed to kind of put up a token resistance before giving in. So that creates an extra confusion for Mai. And again, not excusing her, but it does create an extra bit of confusion, which is probably part of the reason why she was pushing so hard. Because Renako's just, playing the game. Right? Right? Oh, she's not. No. She's not. Oh, no. I screwed up. I really screwed up. And she realizes she was pushing Renako out way, way out of her comfort zone. And she does, they make up, and that's great. But yeah, that's the whole thing about Mai. And also there's another thing which we get into, which is, Mai and her relationship with Satsuki. Oh, geez. There's layers to that one. Yeah, so Satsuki is basically she's the very stoic one. She is usually very serious, very to the point, very blunt. Mm-hmm. And also kind of a weird thing, like, we're doing this. No room for argument. Yep. And, Renako being very weak-willed also just kind of goes along with it. Yep. Often, but... and Satsuki has this whole weird thing with her and Mai. They've known each other since they were kids, and Satsuki seems to really compete with Mai and always falls just short in almost everything. Particularly like grades and stuff, Mai always comes out ahead. Satsuki is eternally annoyed by this. She just wants to win against Mai, apparently. And it's also pretty clear Satsuki is probably in love with Mai. Whether she's willing to admit that or not. That whole complicated, the thin line between love and hate. frenemies and whatnot.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my God, they're rivals.
oh my God, that's worse than roommates.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. And we also see that weird thing where Mai kind of takes advantage of Satsuki's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a really, again, another one of those things where it's like, again, Mai never being told no. She goes to Satsuki for comfort because, well, you're in love with me, aren't you? But then there's a whole thing there, which is like, turns out it's a weird thing with Mai, kind of like, it's all still part of her own self-flagellation. And
Yeah.
again, these two are complicated and weird.
Yep. All of them are complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Their relationship specifically is like, oh God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because, that's part of it is, eventually, Satsuki just kind of tells Raniko that they should be dating. It's like, Raniko's like, huh?
What?
No, we're going to date now. And it's like, it's just for a couple weeks, and it's apparently part of Satsuki's massive, weird revenge plot against Mai.
Yep. That's what it is. Like, we're going to date, but it's not because of anything between us. It's just so I can get back at Mai or some weird
and
thing
Mai's
like that.
also, there's a whole thing with, and the whole who Reniko's going to date thing. And they wind up getting into a little game tournament.
Oh, yeah. Video games.
Yeah, basically
Video
whoever
games.
wins, it's basically Satsuki and Mai are going to compete against who gets to have Reniko, and then Reniko's like, I get to have a say in this. I'm going to be in the competition too, and if I win, we're just going to be friends.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing about that is also it's a very interesting thing I liked about Satsuki was we see clearly Satsuki's not very well off financially. They make that pretty clear,
Right.
comparatively. Like she lives with her mom. Her mom clearly works nights, which usually in Japan, that usually is a signal for kind of a iffy job.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably most likely, my guess would be hostess. One of those cabaret clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
Seemingly no dad in the picture. And as we can see stuff like, in the bathroom, like, oh, the light doesn't work. And she has to resort to other means because, like, oh, it's not just a bulb, is it? Yeah, so it's an interesting thing because they don't really like talk about it, but they make it pretty clear. Satsuki finds it, not surprisingly, finds it embarrassed because that's kind of, you're kind of, society trains you to be embarrassed about being, financially poor.
Yep. Being poor is that's part of it. And then you have Mai.
Yeah, Mai, who's super rich and
the complete opposite.
Yeah, and they met as kids, and there's a whole thing there. Mai is one of the only people who's been before Reniko is one of the only people who've been to Satsuki's house or apartment.
Yep.
And it's kind of an interesting thing there because they started off actual seemingly Satsuki and Mai seemed genuine friends as kids, and then things changed as time went on. Yeah, regardless, that's another thing is Satsuki and is willing to trust Reniko with this information. Which is interesting. In its own right, because of how Satsuki is.
Yeah.
I always like the funny thing where somehow Satsuki just reads Meniko's mind.
Oh yeah, that's a running. It's like, stop reading my mind. Stop being so easy to read.
Yeah. Of course, then we also get the weird kind of running thing of Reniko just keeps having baths as are all her friends.
Yep.
Yeah, Mai first with Mai, then with Satsuki, and of course
I like it.
Trips. Whoops, gets a handful.
Yep. Got to play the tropes, right? Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. It was because Satsuki's like, "Oh, I'm not into you," clearly lying.
Clearly lying. I will say though, like you mentioned the light in the bathroom that doesn't work. What Satsuki did, all the stars and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice little scene.
Yeah, it was a nice scene.
It was a nice scene.
And of course, it also leads to just Reniko looking the most fail girl she ever does in that one bit where she's standing outside in her shorts and a t-shirt, just face. It's just the most pathetic she's ever looked. And that's pretty, considering.
That's a pretty low bar.
Considering everything.
Considering.
But yeah, so they have that video game. And also we find out about Mai's butler person.
Mm-hmm.
Who
that looks a lot like Satsuki.
Yeah, but also she's very insistent Satsuki and Mai should be together. So she sees Reniko as some outside, just intruder.
Yep. Don't worry, she didn't want to be here either.
It's like, I don't want to be here either.
Mai drug me into this, not me. Yeah. Well, don't get mad at me.
Because Reniko winds up winning in the end, and then so this kind of status quo, I guess, returns. I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and then also on top of that, you got Ajisai. Oh boy, Renako and Ajisai is very interesting because there's that. Renako sees Ajisai as a perfect angel.
Perfect angel.
Puts her on a pedestal and everything, and at one point accidentally talks to her in such a way that sounds like very much like a confession, and Ajisai takes it as a confession to the point that she's ready to be kissed, and only just be confused when Renako runs off.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, that's the thing is Ajisai, the first one we see initially is a very, kind of quiet, demure type of girl who's just very kind and, gentle and everything, very motherly.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of see why she's like that because she has 2 younger siblings she has to take care of all the time.
Yep.
Again, home life stuff, they don't talk about this, but they imply her parents have jobs which just keep them away from home a lot, and them, rather than hiring a babysitter, well, congratulations.
The eldest becomes the
become basically a mom now. Yeah, as the good old, you have been forced to grow up way early, so you don't get to really have a childhood.
Yep.
And we see eventually, Ajisai actually carries around a lot of frustration about this.
But she keeps it buried hard.
Yeah. She keeps it buried because, well, that's not the right thing to do.
Nope.
She's supposed to just, guys, just take it because that's just how it is, right?
Yep.
It's just so interesting how that works out. Renako, hanging around Ajisai peels back that whole thing of being on the pedestal, peels it back, and kind of she sees the real Ajisai, including going to her house once and Ajisai having that little screaming at her brothers about how how they're monopolizing Renako.
Yep.
And that's the first sign that there's more to Ajisai than Renako realizes.
Yep. Ajisai's mask cracks.
Yeah. And then that whole I'm going to run away thing.
Yep. That was a whole thing. Oh, man. I'm going to run away and I'm going to tell you about it.
And then Reneko's like,
so
I got to stop her.
Well, and and it turns out that was Ajisai's entire purpose, was to have her stop her.
Well,
but Renako doesn't.
Well,
Either doesn't show up, because I think
Ajisai was like, she wasn't actually going to run away. She had no intention of actually running away, but then Renako shows up, and, well, she just kind of goes with Renako, because Reneko's insisting on going with her.
Yeah.
Because Reneko's so feared his rage, she's going to become some Gyaru delinquent.
But then they have a great time.
Yeah, they go off on a trip, like a little overnight trip and everything, and
then Mai shows up.
Mai shows up because she hears about it, because Mai's, of course, jealous.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very possessive, apparently. But yeah, that's the thing is, well, Ajisai is spending time with Renako, and again, Reneko's seeing more of Ajisai, kind of her, more the complaints about just being, being forced to take care of her brothers all the time, the lack of, free time for herself, she wants to just someone to take care of her, and that, oh boy.
Yeah, that was
things have been awakened.
That was a bit of a scene.
Yeah, insisting on calling Renako Onace.
Yep, she wants to be the little sister now.
Yeah, Renako is herself as an older sister, but it's kind of different because Haruna is not much younger than her, and also seems to be the more responsible of the two, or more put together of the two, shall we say?
Well, because she's the normal one. Yeah, she's the extrovert, normal one.
I also find it funny she's also taller than Renako, even though she's younger. It's like, oh, that's the thing. And then that's the thing is what we see is Ajisai starts getting feelings for Renako. Because there's a bit where there's again the thing where Renako just lets slip out that she touched Sasuke's chest, and then Ajisai's like, well, you could touch mine, yeah.
And then it was like that's kind of an awkward scene.
Friends,
but yes,
friend things.
That's normal between friends. Friends feel each other up all the time, don't they?
No. Yeah, and then of course Mai's showing up, and they hang out, 3 of them hanging out for a little bit, but it's just that embarrassing bit where she's expecting Renako to come back into it, the continuing the role play, and Mai's like, what? And
what?
I was mortified.
Yep.
Because, well, yeah.
Yep. Just crumble into dust right there.
Yeah, they go to a little festival and everything. Yeah, you get Ajisai and Mai hanging out, and that's where Ajisai starts talking about she's pretty sure she likes Renako.
Yep. And that's where those two's little thing, their competition starts to form really there.
Yeah, they make it's clear that it's not gonna. Neither one really wants to back down on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, one thing I actually like is Ajisai. We kind of see that weird thing. We see it briefly from Ajisai's perspective, and that the funny thing is, Ajisai sees Reneko as her angel. It's like, oh,
The failed girl is the angel.
But yeah, it's just so funny that both of them kind of put each other on a pedestal for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. They complete each other.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the weird thing. Is also, again, we see it a little bit, I thought also like, which is, even though, Reneko keeps talking about how sweet and amazing Ajisai is, it just still has weird nightmare scenarios in her head about, Ajisai just, rejecting her really harshly.
Because she has so much inbuilt fear of being rejected by everyone in society at large.
Yeah, you get this weird, awkward thing where it's like everything's kind of in a holding pattern for a little bit, and then Mai and Ajisai just talking, and Mai encouraging Ajisai to, confess, because, part of it is also Mai's very self-assured that, she's going to choose me. Reneko will choose me, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Obviously. I always win.
So, yeah, Ajisai, it's like, regardless, it's also the thing of just get those feelings off your chest rather than just kind of holding them in. It's just better in the long run.
Yep. And then we get to the final scene of the main season,
it's just so great, because it's like, Ajisai, Maya there, and Reneko's like, okay, what's going on? And then Ajisai confesses to Reneko, and Reneko's like, okay.
It's like, will you go out with me?
Okay.
Okay.
Am I,
Huh? End of episode.
Yeah, the end. And this is the thing. It's like, they did announce immediately there'd be more, but that'd be just so funny if you didn't see that announcement.
Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, that's how it's going to end?
Yep.
It's just on that, just a confession and a complete upheaval of everything so far. Because at this point, Reneko has gotten the contention of 3 different girls. But wait, there's that other girl in the group.
Yep.
And she becomes way more important for the last 5 episodes, which is Kaho.
Oh boy, Kaho.
Which then they kind of pull a bit of a, it feels like the author put it a bit of an ass pull.
A little bit.
By the way, Kaho and Reneko knew each other before high school.
Yep.
Because they met in cram school. And if anything, as we find out, Kaho got interested in cosplay and manga and stuff because of Reneko.
Yep. But Reneko didn't recognize Kaho.
Why? Because glasses. And also different behavior.
Yep.
As we find out, there's a reason for that. But yeah, it's just, I love how it began with, Reneko and Kaho are just hanging out because, they never got to do so beforehand, really.
Right.
And then Reneko kind of, because, Reneko's sister, I was looking for a picture of how Reneko, because, she wants to show her friends, because her friends are like, because Reneko was dating Mai, the model. And, friends she wants a picture, and, of course, Reneko's like, no. Also, Reneko's also been a funk because she's kind of, again, we start off with her walking back the okay to Ajisai, and kind of, now she's like, give me a month to figure this out. And she's kind of in a funk, and she's at home, not going to school for a while, but then, Hana with the picture, and then
they have a very sibling fight.
Because, regardless, Reneko sees an old picture of her and Kaho and goes, wait a minute.
Wait just one god darn minute.
So then she goes to Kaho and is like, is this you? And then Kaho's whole thing is like, do you know the first weapon humanity used? It was a rock from the ground as she picks up a rock. And then Reneko starts obviously freaking out.
Yep.
It's so great. And Kaho's actually committed to actually hitting her with the rock.
I must hide my previous identity.
It's like, because, it's clearly this is blackmail, right?
Yep.
And then, no, it's just Kaho's like, and Reneko goes, no, I just want to talk to her again. What? Yeah, then we see reason why. Well, it's the reason why Reneko didn't recognize it is because, 1, she behaved completely differently, and 2, no glasses.
Yep.
And,
also, I think was there a name change?
Yeah, there's also last name, which apparently her family name change. Again, there's a nice little bit of world building there, which is the implication. Okay, that means her mom remarried.
Yeah,
which is interesting. It was all right. We don't get a whole lot, but the home we get little snippets and pieces. Like my mom only showed up once in a flashback, where she was sitting there apologizing to Satsuki's mom.
Yeah, she gets referenced every now and then by Mai, but we don't ever see.
Apparently, she has a huge part later on in the series, because she discovers what's going on with Mai and Reneko.
Kind of hard not to, with what happened there at the end.
Yeah. Regardless, So there's the thing was Kaho kind of did the same thing. We're finding out Kaho's kind of a weird reflection of Reneko.
Yep.
She did the same thing of reinventing herself for high school.
Okay.
But
Yep.
she still does cosplays and stuff. Yeah, we see there was a little snippet for earlier, which is like we saw Satsuki and Kaho look like cosplaying. And so Satsuki kind of telling Renako to forget that you never saw anything. Okay, I saw nothing.
I saw nothing.
Yeah, and then Kaho kind of wrangles Renako into cosplaying with her,
Yeah.
including the offer of money.
I like that one. Just starts running away and they go,
30,000
I'll
yen.
pay you. Stops. How much?
3,000. Oh, I knew 30,000 yen.
30,000. Nope. Running
That's
into
too much.
dangers
It's
now.
too much. It's
Nope.
suspicious now. That's too suspicious.
Yep.
And why does Renako need the money? Because she broke 5 kun.
She broke her PS5.
Yeah,
Legally
5 kun.
distinct PS5.
Yeah. Funny thing about that, apparently in the original story is 4 kun. Because,
Yeah.
well, time has passed since it was
Time is
written.
past. Yeah.
So they just updated it a little bit. Easy to update. Just change up the number 1.
Mhm.
But yeah, she broke it because she was like she was hugging and like, it's so warm. You'll never betray me, 5 kun. And then
It
wakes up
didn't.
with it on the floor, across the room on the floor, because she apparently threw it in her sleep or
How was that?
something.
5 Kun did not betray you. You betrayed 5 Kun.
Yeah. So anyway, she needs money. Well, Kao wrangles her into it, although needs Satsuki's help a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because Satsuki kind of does her little thing,
Yep.
just leads her along. It's like, here you go, Kaho. What? You tricked me. You tricked me.
You tricked me, woman. Yeah, I like it because we've seen multiple situations where Renako will just start following someone to talk to them and just not pay attention to where they're going.
Yep.
And yeah, that's what Satsuki was doing here.
Got her. Anyway, see you later. Yeah, they do the cosplay thing, and we get a little bit more about Kaho, including like, the contacts, and like once she pulled the contacts off, and because it went to a love hotel. It's a love hotel. No, it was a love hotel. No, it's not. It's a regular hotel. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to spend a night with the girl at the love hotel. So this is a love. What?
How did you
Yeah,
not
she takes
know
the
when you
contacts
walked
off,
in?
and honestly, Kaho changes. Suddenly, she's
Yep.
back to her old self. The run with Renako members, very quiet, awkward, introverted, socially anxious.
Yep.
Well, does it sound familiar?
Mm.
She's minted Renako.
Yeah. That means Kaho's disassociating pretty freaking hard.
Well, the thing is, what we're seeing is Kaho is doing this because she wanted to reinvent herself, and for her, she's doing the thing of when she puts the contacts on, she is cosplaying as an extrovert,
Yep.
which allows because she's able to get herself into the character, and so she's her character is extrovert. Except when the contacts come off, the psychosomatic thing just kind of wears off too, which means suddenly, she's back to her usual self, and we see, we see that. So it's just actually kind of funny because Kaho's kind of a glass cannon, flirting like crazy with Renako. Anytime Renako actually starts to reciprocate, falls apart.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, because she tried to invite Renako to the bath together, and then
Well, then she took her glasses.
and then Renako
her
gets in the bath,
contacts
and then
out.
Kaho's like, actually, no, I'm just gonna just shower over here.
Yep, because now she's a different person and regrets all of
And
it.
then
She can't
Reneko's like,
hold up
fine,
to it.
he's like, no, I'll wash your back, because I guess kind of
Well,
weird.
at that point, Reneko was doing the payback time.
Yeah, and then realizes what's going on and go, run away. Run away.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, then the whole cosplay thing, and of course, the whole Kaho has their measurements, and because, turns out Reneko's a little bit bigger than Satsuki.
Just a little bit.
Kaho, because your boobs are huge, you'll rip the seam if you just put it on now.
Yep.
Yeah, the cosplay, and of course, Reneko's freaking out about that, because it's like, it's not, and the Kaho gives her some hypnosis audio, I guess.
Omelette du fromage.
Yeah, and it works, but only temporary. It's basically it's this kind of almost like a love bombing, which is weird.
Yeah, it was just, I'm going to flood you with so much affirmations and things that, you feel better about yourself subconsciously. Although subconsciously it just made her be another Kaho.
Yeah, and then
Sorry, just
eventually it starts to
acting
wear
like Kaho.
off. It's
Yeah.
like, wait, why am I? Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaho's like, oh crap, the quick fix always wears off quick, doesn't it? So it did lead to the funny thing when she's kind of brushing her hair and Haruna there, and she's like, it doesn't. I'm cute after all. And kind of like, huh?
Yeah.
That's not.
What is this?
Who are you? Yeah, so eventually leads to them wanting Kaho getting invited to this big cosplayer thing, and then turns out, so she wrangles Renako into that again because Satsuki is busy. Turns out there's a reason for that.
There's a reason, yep.
Yeah, turns out one of Haruna's friends is Kaho's rival, and Kaho's rival hired Satsuki. Yeah.
Yep.
And regardless, they're at this thing, and they're doing the cosplay thing, and Kaho accidentally, pulls a contact out and steps on it and breaks it, and well, now she's all introvert mode. Uh-oh.
Yep.
And Renako goes on this weird thing where it's like, you hypocrite. Renako, you freaking hypocrite.
Well, yeah, that whole scene. Oof.
Where she identifies Kaho's problem, not realizing she has the exact same problem.
Yep. That's
so
the whole
funny.
thing.
And also Kabanon's Kaho.
Yeah. Yes, because Kaho just starts echoing the inner thoughts of Renako that we've heard before. And then Renako starts giving all this advice that she needs to hear herself. And she's able to do all. It's like, it's the mom friend override. But yeah, you see someone
do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole, you've seen like, you're not able to do it for yourself. But if you see someone else in trouble, nope, we're going to help them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get the help, but you will.
Yeah. And like, yeah, so it does work. Although, they only get like, 7th place out of 8.
Yeah, but the rivals get the 8, I think, or something like that.
She lost, and of course she ran off with Satsuki's clothes because she was in such an upset about it. And it turns out, this whole event is sponsored by the company that Mai works for. Oh.
And guess who shows up?
Oh, it's Mai. And Ajisai, who's there with Mai.
On a date, sort of.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, Mai and Ajisai have our whole thing going on, and like, there are threads being woven here.
Yeah.
Like,
I have some opinions
Mai
on
and
that
Ajisai are getting real close to the point where Mai even says, if Renako wasn't in the picture, I'd probably date you, more or less. Which, I wonder why she's saying that. Eventually ends with, Ajisai telling Renako that, we need to talk, you need to talk to Mai because if she's going to leave, she's going to go to France. She's just removing herself from the picture. She's doing it again. She's doing it again. The whole, I'm just going to get out of the way.
Yep.
Because she's seeing how much Ajisai cares about Renako, and she's just going to remove herself from the equation, right? And Ajisai's like, no, I don't want her to leave, and so it leads to this thing where they're all on stage, and Renako just
lays it all out.
All out. It's just like she loves them both, and she wants to date both.
Yep.
Wait.
And it's a big whole thing and a big whole argument of, I'm going to date you, and this whole, but I'm also going to date you, and then, what?
What? Yeah, that's
you can't do that.
Oh my gosh, she really is trash. and I just like, listen, it's kind of news just being kind of two-timed right off the bat. It's like, it's not two-timing if everyone is in on it. If everyone's
agreement, it's not cheating if everyone's agreeing
this
to
is
it.
poly negotiations, you dingus. Of course, there's a whole bit within what they kind of talk about. Maybe just date each other, and then like, no, please,
don't leave me out of this. No,
and they agreed to it. They all agreed to it.
Yep, and they agreed, and that's
almost like, well, ends. She's realized it's like there is the thing is like this is not going to be easy.
Nope.
Now, if I also start dating each other, that makes things a little bit easier, but.
And the groundwork for that was laid.
Groundwork was laid, so there's also groundwork for other things, as we find out there's a bit of a stinger.
Mm-hmm. There was a little bit of a stinger.
Yeah, that little text message for Satsuki where she's like,
hey, you want to add another one?
You have 2 girlfriends, right? Well, why not have a 3rd? Go out with me. Not asking, telling.
Yeah.
Go out, and that's how it ends. It's like,
yeah.
Because, again, the groundwork has been laid this entire time. The last 17 episodes, the groundwork has been laid for Renako and the other 4. And we already even have Satsuki and Kaho already have a connection. And that's the thing. Satsuki during this bit like folds to Ajisai immediately.
Oh yeah, that whole thing. It's just like
Satsuki has a thing for Ajisai too, and Mai and Renako and
very different.
And of course we have Kaho simps for Mai.
Yep.
And the connections are all there.
And there was some groundwork laid between Kaho and Renako. Yep. I mean, there's always groundwork there.
Yep. The groundwork's there for basically the polycule.
Yep.
Granted, right now it's only 3 of them, but still, it's incredibly rare in anime.
It is. Usually, it's like, nope, you pick one, and the other one has to deal with it.
Love triangle. Yeah, it's like
either
solve the love triangle.
No one picks anything, and you get this just mess of a triangle.
An anime was solved forever.
Yep. Yeah. I will say some of my complaints is a little bit nitpicky. I do think I feel as though those last 5 episodes were a little rushed. I think it would have been better if it was another little bit longer, because there were a few points that I felt were a little bit quick. I mean, it wasn't the worst. Again, I'm being nitpicky here. It's not that bad, but the groundwork romance between Mai and Ajisai, I think, was a little bit quick, a little bit rushed, especially when you put it up in comparison to Reneko, all of Reneko's. But I mean, it makes sense. Reneko's the main character, but I think with this, a little bit quick.
It was supposed to be, the idea was it is literally just, the foundation, nothing's happening yet.
Right. I just like the conversation that you brought up where they were, oh, I would have picked you earlier, and that one felt maybe a little bit rushed. Again, I'm being super nitpicky here. It wasn't really that bad. Also, they totally didn't acknowledge the fact that huge confession happened on stage in front of everyone on camera.
So people noted that. It does come up later in the light novel.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably later in
considering
the novel.
Mai's a world famous model and everything, and this happened in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah, and like you said, apparently her mom becomes more important later on after finding out. And I was like, yeah, of course, found out. The whole thing happened on stage, on camera, in front of thousands of people. How did you not know?
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of comes up later, that whole thing where some rando girl just shows up and insists to this model and some other girl that she's going to date both of them.
Yeah.
Because of the thing, they got so lost at the moment, they're kind of forgetting that everyone's watching.
Yep. Oh, and that's an interesting, I don't want to say interesting, but it's a pretty common artistic technique that they did, or cinema, I don't know what word to use there. How you can see they're on stage, but everyone's disappeared. It's just black, because that sort of represents, the mental state of mind of the people involved. They literally no longer think of them being in an audience. That all they see is each other. Everyone else has disappeared mentally to them.
My big
They're
thing
still
is
there watching, though.
Yeah, I feel like my biggest little thing is just story wise is just simply the kind of the weird thing with Kaho. Just well, actually they knew each other beforehand thing. It kind of feels a little convenient.
Yeah, maybe if they put a little more, like a couple more things here.
But at the same time, I also get why, if she looks different and has different name and acts different, I could understand why she wouldn't make the connection.
Yeah.
Just, hey, she has the same name as someone I knew. Weird.
It's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
I mean, I hung out with 2 other people with the same name as me.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah, the thing is, also another thing is, I'm a little worried about some of the stuff I've heard coming up, which and this is one of the things, I don't know if it's like a joke. It's like, it's a weird thing with apparently something to do with Haruna and Reneko, which is like, we don't like that. I don't like hearing that, but from what I heard, it sounds like people are kind of taking a joke too far, or taking a joke seriously, I should say.
Which unfortunately does happen sometimes in these.
Because my understanding is there's a point where Haruna it sounds like Haruna makes a joke about, maybe I should just be your girlfriend too. Something like that. And then it's supposed to be a joke, but people jumped on it as a serious thing.
Yep. I've seen that happen multiple times.
But I'm not sure if that's the case or not, because it's pretty far along in the light novel.
Yeah, a throwaway line being taken way too seriously.
I also know another girl's added to the pile, in the sense it's, cool, and apparently someone who Mai and Satsuki know from their past. It's like, and she's got like white hair. It's like,
I think one of the big things about this whole anime that really got me is just, I guess, the relatability and the depth that it goes to. I think there's a question that it runs around, the core concept of Reneko, I believe. It all comes down to, how can you love someone if you do not love yourself?
Yeah. And she
says that.
She has that big revelation at the end about how much she hates herself, and like, honestly, she shouldn't. Really, she actually, her grasping so hard onto the idea of being normal, realizing none of this was normal. Not a single thing has been normal since I met Mai.
Yeah, her constant fight to try and find what she believes to be normal, and rejecting herself because of it. But I mean, unfortunately gets reinforced by so much of society. I will say her sister's not very helpful either, but of course it's her sister, and that's kind of a sibling thing to do.
One thing I actually found interesting was how Reneko's mom actually just kind of let her stay home for multiple days from school because she was just feeling really bad.
Yeah.
She just let her.
That's a good mom.
Yeah.
But her sister making fun of her all the time doesn't help. Yeah, that is another one. I think the siblings they don't interact a super huge amount,
No,
but what they do does seem
very
sibling like the writer is probably not an only child.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that so many times where it's like, those are not siblings. No siblings ever act like that.
Yeah,
but this one was pretty good like that.
Yeah. And generally, also, it looked pretty good overall. I think there's a couple bits where definitely you can see the budget strain, but it's not huge problem.
But it's
I like the OP
definitely
and ED a lot. I wish the ED stuff was translated, because I think those are from the little 4-coma like omake comics,
right?
They do, so like you could see them, but this is just there's no sound for them. It's like, well, don't know what's going on. But yeah, they're like little alternative like what ifs for some of the situations, kind of making them more absurd.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a really fun one overall, and just again, a lot of these characters with all these depths, which they don't have to they don't get hung up on it in the sense of they don't just talk it to death. All the depth is there. You just can figure it out yourself. Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed is Renako and Haruna's. We only see their mom. We don't ever see the dad, which is interesting. But we don't see a lot of guys in general. But
yeah.
My whole thing is her mom is we get an impression of her mom without really ever seeing her too much. Satsuki, we get her mom is her mom's very flirty herself, which again speaks to the whole idea that she might be probably a cabaret hostess. I decided we see her mom, but we know her dad's in the picture. Again, the parents just kind of very just shoved the all responsibility on Ajisai and Kao. We don't know a lot other than apparently likely a remarry. It's probably a mom remarried at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a lot, and that kind of also helps inform the characters themselves.
Yep.
And including, the weird thing, both implications with Maya, and her mom almost she's just treated as a business asset and not a child.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's a fun thing.
That's a real way. That'll mess your kid up real quick.
Yep. Regardless, I know. One other thing, which is really funny and frustrating, because Renako at the end asked them both out. And wants them to both be her girlfriend and everything. And they're dating now. In the light novel, I remember, apparently it's shortly after this. Even though she has 2 girlfriends, she still insists she's not gay. Okay, we still have to untwist that pretzel.
No homo. Yeah, but I said no homo during kissing, so it's fine.
That's not how it works, stupid.
It's almost like
that's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance, of course, she's gonna have a 3rd girlfriend pretty soon. Possibly a 4th.
A 4th. And then maybe a 5th.
Maybe a 5th. Renako. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I like how Kaho also calls out Renako, because Kaho's literally calling her out for you're complaining your steak is too juicy, your lobster's too buttery.
Yeah. That whole thing.
That's your complaint. You're complaining. Oh wow, your life sucks so much. You got a bunch of girls pacing you that's just hanging on to you, and you're just complaining about that. And Reneko's whole thing. Well, I don't want any of them to be hurt. This is why romance is bad, because someone gets hurt.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely a point to be made there too.
Someone's gonna lose.
Well, it was just the whole what you might see as what someone is benefiting from something. You might not see the whole story.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely not helping Renako. She was not just drowning in all these cool things. It was actually causing her problems.
I think someone saw it, which was like a person dying of thirst watching someone drown.
Yeah. But then it flips on its head.
Yeah.
Later on, during the whole cosplay thing.
Yep.
Where basically now it's Renako yelling at Kaho for having these things that Renako really has been trying to get.
Yeah.
Yay.
Everyone's got problems.
Shared misery.
So, some details about this anime. It's animated by Studio Mother, who haven't done a whole lot.
Nope.
But they've done Yamato Yo Toa ni Rebel in 3199. That's the space battleship Yamato.
Space battle.
Yeah, that thing.
Star Blazer. Wait, no.
Yeah. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. That one of those isekai.
Yeah.
Koala's Diary, which is just funny considering rent a koala. And More Than Married Couple But Not Lovers, and romance anime, straight romance anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Renako Amamori is played by Kana Nakamura, who's Urishi Yaotome in When Will Ayumu Make His Move, Narita Top Road and Uma Musume, Alicia Williams in I'll Become a Villainess, who goes down in history, Sophia Reeler in The Gorilla God's Go-To Girl, and Milfira Marshall Raid in Past the Monster Meat Milady. All mostly recent stuff. Maya Ozuka is played by Saris Onishi, who played Vinette Tsukunose April in Gabriel Dropout. Ruki Irokawa in Comic Girls. Meijiro McQueen in Uma Musume.
McQueen.
Miyako Shikimori in Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Akari Watanabe in More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers. Yeah, same studio.
Yep.
And voice actor. Yeah. Satsuki Koto is played by Kana Ichinose, who has popped up several times now.
I know that
Ichigo
name.
in Darling in the Franxx. Suletta Mercury / Eric Samaya in Witch from Mercury. Fern and Freeren. Constance Grail in The Holy Grail of Eris. And Mikusuride in Do It Yourself.
Yep. I know this name.
Ajisai Sena is played by Yukari Anzai, who's played Momo Minamoto in Release the Spice. Chiara Victoria in Lapis Relights, Miharu Yomine in Sopra and Q, 2 different characters there, and Sanae Takagawa in Mo Ippon. And Kaho Koyanagi is played by Takako Tanaka, who played Hina in Hina Matsuri. Yep. Craft Univer in Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, and a lot of very small roles. This is probably one of her bigger roles she's done other than Hina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of this discussion.
Yep. It was good. It really was, and it's
a fun
definitely
time.
deserving.
It's a fun
of a
time.
watch.
Just be mindful of that first bit.
Yep.
But just don't worry that it gets better from there.
It gets a lot better from there.
Yeah. So if you liked what you heard, you can listen to other episodes on newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com, spelled Libsyn. If you want to subscribe to the RSS feed there and everything, and keep up to date. And of course, you can subscribe to us via other services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts, or Amazon Music, or whatever the hell they're calling it. Subscribe to us any of those ways. And of course, you could contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com, if you have any questions or comments or criticisms or anime recommendations or whatnot. And of course, you can also follow various social media at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com/contact if you want to follow us on any of those. So, yes, it is still June. It will still be June for the next episode. So we're going to be continuing this whole Pride thing. So we're going to be talking about Sasameki Koto. Something you've never heard of.
Yep. Never heard of it.
It's also called Whispered Words. If you're in English. So, yeah, this was a very last second decision because I was like, oh crap.
We need another one.
I need something else, and I'm waffling. But yeah. We'll see you then. That one's going to be a bit different than Watanare for sure. And it's also a bit older. Yeah, so again, keep yourself safe, keep yourself sane. Don't doom scroll too much.
Yeah. Hard not to, but.
And we'll see you next time.